Good morning and welcome to the podcast. The name of the podcast is Voice of Resilience. Yes, you can clap on that. Yes.
Thank you.
Today we have a special guest with us, Mr. Pratap Verma, who is an author of the book Surviving and Thriving, himself and storyteller, and he has an extensive experience of over 50 years working at various companies and advising to the government of Madhya Pradesh. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
We are
Good
truly
morning.
privileged to have you with us today.
My pleasure.
So, we'll start with the book Surviving and Thriving that Sir has written. So, your book Surviving and Thriving has touched many lives with its profound stories of resilience and growth. Could you share what inspired you to write this book?
So it's a very complex question, and I'll try to answer that. The first was I never wanted to join engineering, which I did finally in first division, mechanical engineering. But prior to that, I used to play a lot of cricket till school time. And during the school time, I learned the importance of mindfulness. That means focusing on whatever you're doing. And there I got the feeling of who am I is not a entity, static entity, but a dynamic thing. So whenever you are thinking about yourself, who am I? It's changing every second, every minute with respect to time. So consider that before you think on who am I, because you will be changing all the time, and change is constant. It happens all the time. And the second was the my journey with Union Carbide. I worked with Union Carbide for almost 20 years, and I was present during the gas tragedy of 1984, where almost 10,000 people died, I would say. And it was a great shock to me as a person and as an employee of a company which killed more or less that many people. So at that time, the choice was very clear. Either we were to leave the organization and find out another job, because company said you are all useless. This kind of a problem has happened because of all of you. Or do something for the betterment of the community and society, for the widows and destitute of the gas tragedy. And in that sense, we opened up a company called Bhopal Rehabilitation with the support of the Union Carbide employees all over the world. And we got some money in the trust, and with that we ran this Section 25, now Section 8 it is known as a company, and trained up the widows and destitutes of the gas tragedy on leather craft, because we knew that they had a lot of skill in stitching. So to earn money from stitching with the normal garment stitching was not a good proposal. So we went for leather, which had higher return on investment. And we trained up almost about 150 women who could, their items were sold all over the world. And they were made from patch leather, which was made available by Tata Exports from Devas. So with those patchwork we made leather sheets, and with that we made a lot of other designs, and that skin cost was used to be 50 rupees a square feet in the market as a full skin, and with the patchwork, and which was sold on weight basis, we could make it within 5 rupees a square feet, something like what China does now. They have bought a lot of raw material 20 years back, and they are pushing it back into the market now, and the prices are very low compared to other. No one can compete with them. So these are the two things which inspired me and transformed me to have compassion, passion for the work and for people.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. I think, as sir mentioned, that he constantly rediscovers himself and asks this question, "Who am I?" And that's what most of us are doing, right? So I think sir was a Gen Z even before Gen Z was a term. So wonderful, sir. Coming back to the next question, storytelling is a central theme in your work. How do you believe storytelling contributes to personal healing and empowerment?
See, by storytelling is a kind of a communication which is very, very powerful. I'll give you an example of a beggar who was sitting outside a railway station, and people were passing by and giving some kind of money, some small amount of money, and in the board there was written that I am blind and I can't see. So the amount which he got was very less, and a smart marketing woman who was passing by just stopped by his place, and then what happened is she flipped the banner and wrote, "Today is a beautiful day, but I can't see." And with that kind of a change in the story, the money started pouring in. Within half an hour his bowl was filled. And every day he used to do that, and when that girl came, and he was very happy with that girl, that you have done a very good thing for me. So that was the first compassion story I thought from the storytelling method, which really touched me.
That's profound, sir. Yes, I think that calls for a round of applause. In your book, you emphasize the transition from merely surviving to truly thriving. How can storytelling facilitate this transformation, sir?
Well, my own story is when, this gas tragedy happened in Union Carbide. There was no option left. The job was almost gone, and we didn't know what to do. And there was no space left. Bhopal plant was anyway closed. And they offered me and many other people to either to leave or to take up some other assignment in some other location, which was also topsy-turvy because Carbide was about to close down anyway because of this massive tragedy world over. So what I thought is that I must do something for the people who have suffered, and that's the reason I went in to start an organization which was not a part of Union Carbide, but Carbide supported me in running that, Bhopal Rehabilitation, and we could give employment to a lot of people.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. I think that's another story that we did not know about. So I think to your efforts and the way you have conducted that entire enterprise, wonderful, sir. So now this brings us to the integration of technology in personal development. Now we'll talk something more about what the youth is talking about these days. How can AI tools like ChatGPT assist individuals in gaining insights from their own stories?
Let me tell you that I am 79 years old now, and your generation is, I think, Gen Z it is known as, is 20 plus now. So it's very difficult to sort of adjust with the generation, but I have been keeping myself updated on technology all through being an engineer. So probably I could relate with you on these issues. And I use ChatGPT quite often on storytelling as well. Like for example, if you want to convert your own story into a powerful story, just put your own story at the ChatGPT prompting, and then it will, within nanoseconds, it will give you a reply. It will be logical, perfect in terms of language, but maybe lacking in emotions, which was given by your own story, and you can again change it back to suit your requirement and again push it through some other system which converts it into more simple language. So then the story looks very real, and you can analyze that story for yourself also to make you a better person. So this is how AI can be used for generating your own story in a refined manner.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. I think that is one answer that most of us were looking for. How many of you want to write a book? Okay, a lot of you, and you have your ideas. You have already written a book. Did you take help from ChatGPT?
Yeah, we can take.
Did you take help from ChatGPT? No. Okay. किसकी help ली थी?
No one.
No one. Okay, good.
No, the advantage with ChatGPT is that you are conversing with someone, and that is being validated. What you are thinking is validated. So that brings a lot of power into the story. You are more confident. That's what you are.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. I think I also take help from ChatGPT. It is the only person I talk to. I share my feelings with.
We'll also start doing that.
All right, moving ahead, sir. I think you've already given an example of how we can, or do we want to give one more example, or should we move to the next question?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
See, like my book, if you put surviving, thriving story on that, take one story and put it on prompt and ask for what kind of explanation this story can give to your life. So it will give you that insights into whatever is written in that story, what is the motto of that story, how you can use it for your own purpose.
Wonderful, sir. Can you share one such story from your book for your audience?
I remember one story of my earlier days when Mr. Narona, the ex-chief secretary of the state, was my mentor. In the 60s.
Mr. Narona, Mr. RCVP Narona, जिनके नाम से administrative academy है. Yeah, the same person, yes.
So he was my earliest mentor, and one day he said, I see you struggling with taking photographs of birds. Come along with me, and he took me on his moped. He used to only use his moped for going even to the office. Now that today the chief secretary has got 4 or 5 vehicles and his disposal, for our disposal. He never used to use a government vehicle for going to Mantralaya. So he took me on his moped, a very filthy one, and put in some old Times of India newspaper with him. And what happened after that, when we went to the lake and the lakeside field, he put some made decoys out of those paper decoys. And then we sat inside a dug hole with bushes around, and then it started honking, calling the birds to the decoys, and some rice and wheat we had put along with that near the decoys. And we found that a lot of birds started circling around, and said, "Le tere ko jitni photo nahi." So that one thing, it was a simple initiative of low cost design, can do wonders, and that was a real kind of lesson for me. And it had all the natural laws of attraction, laws of cause and effect, laws of vibration, and it was all connected to the 5 senses of observation, like sense of touch, eye contact and things like that, all 5 senses.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you. I think that's a fascinating story with Mr. Narona. So my next question is, how do you see the role of AI in complementing traditional storytelling methods?
As I told you, once you put your own story, traditional story onto that, and ask ChatGPT, it will modify it into a very powerful story. And then you can sort of use your own thoughts to make it even more powerful.
More spicy.
Too spicy. Yes.
Yeah.
But does it do
With,
it in Hindi? ChatGPT does it in
yes,
Hindi?
it does it in Hindi also.
Okay.
Or I think many other languages.
Oh, that I didn't know.
What you can do is first take it out in English, then put back that story back in and ask him to give a Hindi translation,
Okay.
and then put it back again to find the Hindi reply. It's very simple.
And ChatGPT is a wonderful translator, let me tell you. I work in BHL as a senior engineer, and we are obliged to do 95% of our paperwork in Hindi.
In Hindi, yes.
Yeah, like all the minutes of the meetings have to be in Hindi,
Yeah.
everything. What I do is I put in my minutes in English, ask ChatGPT to convert, translate it into Hindi, and create proper minutes of the meeting, and it does it. So it has made my life very easy.
It can make infographics, it
Yeah.
can give you patterns, it can give so
I
many.
know about English, but I didn't know about Hindi. There Hindi also.
एकदम शुद्ध हिंदी, उसमें भी
शुद्ध हिंदी।
आप बहुत सारे शब्द आप नहीं समझ पाएंगे मतलब मैं नहीं समझ पाता हूँ, आप तो बिल्कुल समझ पाएंगे.
इसीलिए
Hindi is
उसको
difficult actually to understand.
उसको दूसरी साइड पे डाल के फिर चेंज करना पड़ता है टू मेक इट सिंपलर.
बहुत सीखना पड़ेगा, मैं आता भी नहीं हूँ, सीख
नहीं.
लेंगे.
चलिए सर, wonderful. I think this was about ChatGPT. Now this brings us to the upcoming Bhopal International Storytelling Festival, scheduled for March 23, 2025, 3 weeks from now. How do you see events like BISF playing a role in promoting the art of storytelling in this digital age?
Storytelling in the digital age requires events like this, because then you connect with people and physically, because all the time if you are doing it on the social media, that kind of emotion is lacking. And when we meet one to one, we develop our own contacts, and everything is demonstrated right in front of you, and you learn from so many diverse sources that your awareness level goes up very high. And this is the kind of movement we are trying to start, a world movement on this. Storytelling which can do wonders for the humanity.
Wonderful, sir. So that's true. I mean, yes, this event is not a one-off event. We are trying to create a movement around storytelling with this festival. For our listeners who might be interested, what can they expect from attending BISF 2025?
Well, one is gaining experiences from the story, then networking. These are two very important things people can get from the outcome from
And
the festival.
there are going to be workshops around storytelling, poetry writing. There is going to be open mic contests for students, especially for students. There is going to be a separate zone for kids where kids will learn storytelling. They'll witness Kamishibai, other art forms, and I think it is going to be a fascinating, as sir says, fun, frolic, and storytelling. That's the theme of
absolutely.
our event. Yes. So, sir, I think it sounds like an unmissable event. Now, how can storytelling complemented by AI tools be leveraged by businesses and organizations to connect more deeply with their audiences?
Well, storytelling, like if you take the example of Steve Jobs, he was one of the best storytellers in the history of corporate history. And the way he expressed himself through the presentation, that tells volumes about what storytelling can do to the product. And everyone knows how Apple has progressed with his kind of storytelling, which is totally different than any other company, which concentrate on features, but he concentrates on stories. And I've seen one of the videos of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs sitting together, and Steve Jobs took over the whole interview in his favor.
Wonderful, sir. That's really insightful. Now, as we wrap up, what message would you like to leave to our listeners with regarding the power of storytelling and the integration of AI tools like ChatGPT?
With storytelling, you can do anything in this world, because you can inspire people towards their purpose. And once you connect it with AI, it becomes the theme becomes even more powerful.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. I think that's the power of stories, and that's what makes us humans, because we can tell stories. How many of you read that book, *Sapiens*?
Sapiens.
It's a beautiful book.
It's a beautiful book, and that's what it says. You will know Harari in that book. He says that what makes us different from other animals is that we can imagine things.
Yes.
You know, other animal might be able to tell if there is a danger around the corner, but they will not be able to imagine things and create stories around things. And that's what has led to the development of our society, us as a civilization. So wonderful, sir. Now, so thank you, sir. Thank you very much for enlightening us with your
Thank
words.
you so much. Abhi.
Thank you, sir. And round of applause for our speaker today,
Thank you.
Mr. Yes, sir. Please, if you want to add something.
No.
Okay. So this event was also this podcast and this discussion, because we will be releasing it as a podcast also. We wanted to do this because we are conducting a very important event for Bhopal, the Bhopal International Storytelling Festival, and it's an event about stories. If you are interested in stories, if you think that you are a storyteller or you want to become a storyteller, then you cannot miss this event. It will have something for everyone, and not just something for everyone. I think a lot of things for everyone. So do come, and thank you very much. Thank
Do
you, sir.
come and come. Bring along your friends also for participation.
Yes.
That's very important.
So,
Each one of them
yeah.
should get at least one or two.
So I think I want to take a moment and appreciate Preeti Jain ma'am, who has decided to volunteer for this festival. और आप में से अगर जो भी इस फेस्टिवल के लिए वॉलंटियर करना चाहते हैं, आई थिंक लॉट ऑफ वॉलंटियर्स आर सिटिंग अमंग्स अस, तो यू कैन डेफिनेटली कंट्रीब्यूट इन एनी वे you want. It's going to be, now we were earlier looking for sponsors for this event. I think we can turn off the camera. Monica, you can. Yeah.
Like volunteer for what?
Ma'am, there will be a lot of